Sandy Greenberg, our board chair, a brilliant individual who has personally experienced what it is to lose vision. He understands what our patients are going through. He's also a scientist, an entrepreneur. Dr. and Mrs. Greenberg created a call to action. Let's find for each of these diseases the fundamental causes and let's get rid of them.
At the age of 19, Sanford Greenberg lost his vision following a misdiagnosed eye infection that was in fact glaucoma. Undeterred, Sandy turned his misfortune into an audacious mission to end blindness. He found his strength with the help of a close friend.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
My roommate at Columbia was Arthur Garfunkel. He would read to me, which was, of course, my greatest need. And he'd walk over to my desk and he'd say, "Sanford, darkness is going to read to you from the Iliad," or "Darkness is going to read to you from the New York Times."
Art Garfunkel was not afraid to push Sandy to follow his dreams. One day, to prove his resilience, he appeared to abandon Sandy in the middle of New York City's rush hour with no way to return to campus except to brave the crowded subway system on his own.
I started walking forward, and I knew I had no choice now. I moved forward and inserted myself into the rush hour crowd, and I got jostled a bit. I tripped over this baby stroller. She was coming that way, I was running this way, and bam, the baby started screaming, and I wound up hanging over the edge of the train tracks. I got up, I got to the local train that would carry me up to Columbia. When I got out, went up the stairs, was able to get across Broadway to the massive black Columbia gates. I bumped into a man who said, "Oops, excuse me, sir." And I knew it was Arthur at that moment. And I knew him well enough to know what he had just done. If I could get through the New York City subway system blind, that I could pretty much do anything I wanted.
The years that followed were proof. Marriage to his first love, children, outstanding professional achievements, and eventually the creation of the Greenberg Center to End Blindness. Together with his adoring wife, Sue, they believed a mission this bold could only be accomplished at the Wilmer Eye Institute at Johns Hopkins.
Dr. and Mrs. Greenberg felt that this was a laudable goal. Let's work to raise these funds to advance research, and how do you translate $100 million into making an impact? And the key vehicle are these things called rising professorships. They're to support a young person who has a brand new idea, full of energy, so they don't have to wait 10 years to test to see if their new idea, if it is a game changer, if it is a breakthrough. We want to know that now, not next year or 5 years or 10 years from now. We want to know it now. We're delighted that we, for the last 4 years, averaged about 4 of these rising professorships a year, and they are accelerating the scientific careers of our young faculty. No question about it. Sandy is a figure that the world admires, and he, as chair of our board, helps make sure that Wilmer stays on the right track, and he comes and inspires us and makes us work harder, doing all the things that really Dr. Wilmer and Ida Breckenridge hoped that we would do.